Hi, and welcome to this ForNAV coffee break. My name is René Brummel. I'm a product specialist at ForNAV, and I will be your presenter today. Today, we're going to set up ForNAV user permissions. To demonstrate how to set up the ForNAV user permissions, we'll use the standard permission sets from the ForNAV customizable report pack. However, you can add ForNAV permissions to any customized permission sets using the instructions from this coffee break. To demonstrate setting up the ForNAV user permissions, I'm going to use these steps. The prerequisites, what do I need to get going? In step 2, I will inspect the ForNAV permission sets. In step 3, I will set up the administrator. In step 4, I will set up the users. Let's start with the first step. Today, I will be setting up ForNAV user permissions in a Business Central Cloud Sandbox environment with the Business Central 2020 Wave 2 release. Of course, everything I do today is also available on the Business Central on-premise environment. The only difference is that the ForNAV permission sets are part of a single extension in on-premise. The first thing we will investigate are the permission sets that are provided by ForNAV. If we look at these permission sets, we will notice they are part of 3 distinct extensions: the ForNAV core, the customizable report pack, and the ForNAV language module. Users need permissions to all extensions in order to work with ForNAV. Please note that these permissions do not contain permissions for standard Business Central tables. Most notably, ForNAV users will also need access to the custom report layouts table. So let's go to Business Central and let's have a look at the permission sets. As soon as you install the ForNAV extensions in ForNAV, you will end up with a bunch of extra permission sets. If I filter on ForNAV, you'll notice there's a bunch of permission sets for a bunch of extensions. So we have the ForNAV core, which is right here, the ForNAV core runtime. That's a permission set that every ForNAV user in cloud needs. In on-premise, it's not necessary because on-premise works technically different. We also have the ForNAV archive admin. That's obviously just something for the administrators. Then we have the customizable report pack, where we have the ForNAV user for the end users. And we have the ForNAV admin for the administrators, the people that will be ending up setting up the ForNAV report pack. And finally, we have the ForNAV language module. And in the ForNAV language module, we have the ForNAV language and the ForNAV language admin. Once again, the admin makes sure that everything is set up, and the people who have the ForNAV language are able to run the ForNAV reports with the specific language translations from the ForNAV language module. Now we know which permissions we have, we can assign them to our users. Let's start with our administrator. So the ForNAV administrator. First thing I'm going to do is just sign in as the administrator, for which I will open a new browser session, and let me just copy my sandbox URL. I will sign up with my test admin. And if I sign in with the test admin, it takes a little while. Obviously, even though ForNAV is installed, I don't have access to any of the ForNAV pages. And if I run the ForNAV local print test, which is something that I do end up with, is you don't have permissions to the table data. So this user is now not set up at all. I'll close this because when I change permissions, I need to log out and log in anyway, so I might as well close the browser session. I'm going to find my users. This is obviously a fairly simple sandbox setup. All I have is a test admin and a test account. First thing we'll do is set up the test admin. I will skip any part of the normal Business Central user setup that you'll need to do anyway. This is just a user that I've created. And after creating the user, I end up with a couple of permission sets in my user, the D365 Business Premium, and the top one contains the access to the customizable, the custom report layouts table that I was talking about earlier. So this is something that my users need anyway. Let's add my permission sets. And for the administrators, it's really a case of just setting up every permission there is. ForNAV core runtime. ForNAV archive admin. ForNAV admin, and finally the ForNAV user. The reason I need to give my administrator permissions to all of these permission sets is that some of the ForNAV pages are linked to one or more of these permission sets, which means that if a user doesn't have all of these permission sets, they can't do certain things. So my administrator is now set up. Let's go and browse as a guest again. I'm going to sign in as a test admin once more. And once I've done that, Business Central loads. You will notice I now have access to my ForNAV options in my role center, which means I can run the ForNAV reports. So that works. And of course, because I am a user, I can access the ForNAV setup and I can make changes here. Finally, we can assign permissions to our normal users. The normal users are, of course, the people that will run and print reports in Business Central. For a normal setup, you would have to assign the ForNAV permissions to all of your users. I have a user here in my test account. Once again, this is just a box standard account that I've just created with the standard permission sets. Once more, the D365 Business Premium is the one that has access to the custom report layouts. So that's set up. And all I need to do for my users, I will find my ForNAV extension for my ForNAV permissions. I need the ForNAV language. I need the ForNAV core runtime. ForNAV core runtime is the permission set that allows ForNAV to actually render reports. So that's pretty important. And finally, I need my ForNAV user. And once again, please be aware that the ForNAV core runtime is not necessary in an on-premise system. That's only necessary in the cloud system. Once I've done this, I can sign in with my test account. Let's try that. Browse as a guest. We'll use test. It was tricky to sign in with user accounts during a live demo, but it seems to be going all right today. We're loaded, and of course I have my my ForNAV reports and reports with the custom report layout. I can run, so that works properly. Then of course I have the ForNAV setup. which I can open, but I can't edit because I'm a normal user. I don't have access to change anything in the ForNAV setup. So let's recap what we just did. First thing we did was to check the available permission sets. When we knew which permission sets were available, we could assign them to our users. And of course, nothing will prevent you from creating a new all-encompassing ForNAV permission sets with all of these permissions, but that's outside of the scope of this coffee break. Finally, we were able to assign the permissions to our users, which meant that the users could then find and run all of the ForNAV reports. Thank you for listening to me so far. If you want to know more about ForNAV, please visit fornav.com, our website, where you can also download the ForNAV Designer. From the ForNAV Designer, you can install ForNAV for on-premise systems. If you want to install ForNAV in your cloud sandbox or your cloud production system, please visit the Microsoft App Source. If you visit youtube.com/ForNAV report, you'll find a lot of videos, coffee break videos and other videos to help you get started with ForNAV. And if you have any questions after watching this coffee break, please email them to support@fornav.com. At fornav.com/coffeebreak, we have a list of upcoming and recorded coffee breaks. There's quite a lot of recorded videos there already, so please have a look there. And as always, if you have any topics for future ForNAV coffee breaks, please let us know. And if we do a coffee break, about your topic, then of course you'll get a great video about your topic, but you'll also get a €50 or $1 gift certificate as a thank you. With that, thank you for watching this ForNAV coffee break, and I will see you in the next coffee break. Goodbye.